everyone. Thanks for joining us for our View from Above series where we talk about trends in the market and looking for investment opportunities. Today, we're going to be talking about pot stocks.
Good topic.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm on.
It's going to be, it'll be interesting. This was a trend that was around a few years ago. It actually got a lot of attention in the news. We got a lot of calls from clients interested in the space. Some of the stocks there just went parabolic.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a completely different story ever since. Some of those just absolutely collapsing.
Yep.
But we're starting to see some news in that area. It's kind of gone unnoticed because of COVID and everything going on. But it's an interesting area to start looking at. So, Scott, you know more about kind of the state level. So we're starting to see some changes there, a lot more approvals, right?
Yeah. So, as we all know, the recreational use of cannabis really started in Colorado, then Washington. And we have about 11 states now, like Alaska, Vermont, Michigan. We all know who they are. And we see a lot of states like New Jersey, Florida, New York applying to make legalization for recreational use of cannabis happening.
Yeah.
So there are some things that are happening, and there's reasons why they're happening.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with taxes, right?
Yeah.
We saw in Colorado and these other states just millions of dollars of tax revenues coming in.
Right.
I think it's interesting now that with COVID and the amount of stimulus that's happening and the amount of deficits that are running, that states are going to have to get creative and try and find ways to bring in some tax revenue.
Absolutely. In fact, there was a big thing, you mentioned Colorado, in Breckenridge where it all started,
right.
and it was all for tax revenue.
Yeah. So I think states that maybe were dragging their feet on this, when, we start to change, things start to lighten up here with the virus.
Yeah.
I think states are going to maybe be a little bit quicker. We'll have to see. Speculating there, but it could happen. That could be a way they generate tax revenues. Also, we're seeing some big companies.
Yeah, we are.
That's been different in the last couple of years. Some big companies get into this space in the tobacco and the spirits industry in particular.
Yeah.
What are you seeing there as far as?
Well, like you said, that tobacco space and the spirit space, they all want to get in that space. They're really good marketers.
Right.
They have deep pockets.
Yeah.
They're just ready to go. They have experience on probably both sides with production and with marketing.
Yeah, and the legal side too.
And the legal side, yeah. So they know what to do in what's called the vice space, in a sense.
Yeah.
I think it's a good area for them to focus.
Yeah, and then we're also seeing where is the opportunity. So a former CEO of one of these companies said a few years ago, he was talking about the sugar industry, trying to compare the cannabis or the pot industry to sugar.
Right.
So you can grow sugar and then go sell it, but it's not it's a commodity business, not a great investment. However, if you could take that sugar and turn it into something, refine it, and put a brand around it, now you could really create some value, something you could sell at a premium. So I think we're going to see those companies start to try and do that, to develop brands, become household names.
Okay.
If you think of soda companies that took sugar and turned it into drinkable sugar, but put a name on it and a brand, and we all pay a premium for it still and know those names. So I think that'll be waiting to see that and trying to find who that is, because they'll probably do really well.
Yeah.
If they're able to do that.
Well, I think despite cannabis really being federally illegal, I think there's things that are changing to make it more acceptable. Changing attitudes, policy reform, which is really big. And then, as we were talking about off camera, was really the use for medical reasons, especially CBD.
Yeah, and I think there'll be opportunities there. Probably not through the tobacco companies or the spirits companies. It'll be different companies there. There'll definitely be opportunity in that. I mean, we couldn't have done this video 10 years ago. We would have seen stoners. So the opinion on it is definitely changing. So I think it's interesting. Just a couple points of risk. Obviously, stocks involve risk. Investing involves risk. A lot of these companies still trade on what we call the pink sheets or over the counter.
Right, and we're giving no recommendations.
No. So, be careful. If they're on the pink sheets, they don't have to follow the same accounting standards. If they're not listed on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ. And then also, just understand that trends are great. But trends can be dangerous in that you can really talk up a good story. We could have had this conversation 2 years ago, and it would have all been the same, sound the same, but those stocks have been a really rough place to invest. So waiting to not only find the trend, but also seeing, like we're talking about, big companies coming in, start to see some stabilization in price, start to see some movement there to confirm that your trend is happening. So
That's right.
thanks for joining us
Yeah.
today.
Thank you, everybody.
Look for our next video.
We're off to Jamaica.